Welcome back, grade 11s. I'm sure you've got something stronger, which is your coffee, all right, like black coffee, and now you are glued to your screen and you are working, all right. So we have the next problem. Because you've been working on this reduction formula and whatnot, I'm just going to give you only 2 minutes because of time, guys. Just work quickly and then we can look at the solution together. Let's go. 2 minutes. Nice one, grade 11s. Let's continue. Let's check. We said we're going to be breaking it down to your acute angles. This is cos of 180 degrees minus 30, right? Mind you, keep on checking. 180 minus is 150 times tan of 180 degrees plus 45 divide by, remember, this is negative, falls under here. Sine is negative, so you get negative sine of 60. Now, this is what I was talking about. You've got 480. What do? Because we said if you add or subtract 360, so 480 we can subtract 360, we're sitting on 120, so we can break down this is cos of 180 degrees minus 60, all right? Now, next, 180 degrees minus an angle. Which quadrant is that? That's the second quadrant. How is cos in the second quadrant? It's negative. So you get negative cos of 30 degrees multiplied by 180 plus. Which quadrant is that? That is the third quadrant. And it's the tan quadrant. Remember the CAS diagram? It's a tan quadrant. Tan is positive. So tan 45. Divide by negative sine 60 times 180 minus, that is the second quadrant, cos is negative, you get negative cos of 60. Now, guys, negative divided by negative, it's a plus. Now, very important, cos 30 is exactly the same as sine 60. Remember when they add up to 90, as we have said, cos 20 is the same as sine 60, right? And then you can check that with your calculator. Cos 45 is the same as sine 45, right? Those co-ratios. Okay, guys. Now, you've got, this is negative tan of 45, it's a 1, divide by 60. Remember that it's a special angle, right? Tan of 60, you should be knowing it by heart. 60 should give you a half. What's happening here? Yeah, a half. Okay, so this is over a half, which is, this is 1 over 1 over 2. We get negative 2 as our final answer. Now, guys, we need to just check. If we don't get a negative 2, like I said, you confirm with your calculator. You have cos of 150, close bracket, times tan 225 and then sine of negative 60 times cos of 480 is negative 2. So it means that what you are working on, and at the end of the day, you get a minus 2. If you punch it in your calculator now, for instance, a question like this will be like 5 marks, 6 marks. So it means that you've got maximum marks because you are getting the very same thing that your calculator confirms. Okay. Now, let's do this one, all right? It's short, it should be short and quick. I give you 2 minutes again. You work with your friend, and then exactly 2 minutes, then we look at it together. Let's go. All right, guys, you can stop. Let's just look at it together now. All right, 90 degrees plus, it's your second quadrant. Thank you. Okay, now 90 degrees plus is the second quadrant. How is the given ratio in the second quadrant? Because we're given cos, and second quadrant we have S, cos is negative, right? But because it's a 90 degrees, right, that is your co-ratio, so you've got your sine x. Divide by 360 minus is a fourth quadrant, and we have C. What are we given? That's cos, so it means that cos is positive. So you've got cos of x times 180 minus is the second quadrant, where sine is positive. So now we're given tan, it means that tan is negative. So you've got your tan, negative tan x. Right, now guys, negative over negative, it's a plus, right? Now, this, remember when we were doing identities, tan of x is sine x over cos x. So in other words, if I see sine x over cos x, we can make that tan x, or tan x is sine x over cos x. So negative over negative is a positive, so you've got your sine x over cos x times, there's a 1, sine x over cos x. So this is over 1. Now, if you look, this is cos divided by cos, sine divided by sine, and you get your answer to be positive 1. So well done to all of you who've got the correct answer, which is 1. Now, guys, the next one, let's just quickly do it together because it's similar to the one that we just did. Sine of 180 minus. 180 minus, which quadrant is that? That's a second quadrant. It's a sine quadrant. What am I given? I'm given sine, so sine is positive. So sine x times the tan x times 90 plus. Which quadrant is that? That's a second quadrant. How is the given ratio in the second quadrant? Positive. But because of 90, sine changes to cos. Divide by. Now remember, I'm starting with an angle, x minus 180. I keep on adding 360. So if I add 360 here, I'm going to have a tan of 180 degrees plus x. Now, tan 180 plus x, which quadrant is that? That's a third quadrant. How is tan in the third quadrant? That's positive. So you get positive tan of x times cos of minus x. We're falling into this quadrant where there's c that's positive. So in other words, we have a positive cos x times sine of minus x, fourth quadrant, sine is negative, we get negative sine of x. Now, guys, if you look at this, now we are multiplying. Remember, don't forget to put a bracket there. Your answer is going to be negative because everything at the top is positive. Bottom, you've got a plus, plus, and a minus, so you will get a minus. Now, you've got a tan x divides the tan x, cos x divides the cos x, sin x divides the sin x. Your final answer is a negative 1. Okay? Right. Now, guys, we'll look at the last one. I give you only 1 minute. Just quickly look, reduce it. Just take 1 minute and then we will look at it together. Just one. All right, now let's check, guys. This is sine of 12. Now, cos of 102 is the same as cos of 90 degrees plus 12 minus, this is cos squared negative 12. We get positive cos squared 12. Now, 90 degrees plus is the second quadrant. Cos is negative, so we get a negative sine of 12 times the sine of 12 minus cos squared 12. Now, this is minus sine squared 12 minus cos squared 12 degrees. Okay, now to just finalize, you take out a common factor of minus bracket sine squared 12 degrees plus cos squared degrees. Now, guys, remember when we were doing the squared identities, right? That sine squared theta plus cos squared theta equals to 1. So same thing applies here. You've got sine squared 12 plus cos squared 12. This is an identity. It is equals to 1. So you've got a negative 1. Right? Well done, guys, on your work today. You are so consistent and you are working. I wish you all the best. And remember that trigonometry is the easy section, but it carries a lot of marks. Guys, I'll be meeting you in the next lesson for your trigonometry again. See you next time. Bye-bye.